Welcome back, everyone. Today I bring you a singular tale of voodoo and black magic. Or perhaps it isn't that at all, and it's just a mental break of a mother who couldn't take it anymore. I'll let you be the judge. Prior to the story I'm about to tell you, I'll give you a little backstory before the carnage. Gail Trait was a student in ECC, Erie Community College, and had told friends that she wanted to be a nurse. A check of her school records revealed that she had recently earned an A in one course, anatomy. Her children, who had been in voluntary custody of child welfare officials after her and her husband separated, had been recently returned to her 2 weeks prior to the night in question. Gail Trait moved into her mother's apartment with her 4 children little more than 24 hours before this story. Sunday, July 16th, 1978. Screams rang out from an upper apartment of a duplex on Montana Avenue in Buffalo, New York. No one called the police until after the screams had stopped. A neighbor went out onto the porch and rang Gail Trait's doorbell several times. Gail Trait eventually answered the door, and to her neighbor's horror, was drenched head to toe with blood. An ambulance rushed Gail Trait to Erie County Medical Center. The paramedics, at first glance, assumed she was mortally injured. They immediately got to work while in transit to the hospital. After only briefly checking her over, they realized that other than a few cuts on her hands and forearms, she had nowhere near the amount of damage needed to produce this amount of blood. So whose blood was it? Back at the apartment, police already could tell something wasn't right. Upon entering, they immediately stumbled upon the bodies of Gail Trait's 2 daughters, Amina, 6 years old, and Inez, 4, on the living room floor. Both had been stabbed multiple times in their chests. The television was still on. The couch was saturated with blood. As they went deeper into the now crime scene, an even more gruesome discovery was waiting for them in the next room. In the kitchen, the oldest daughter, Kylia, 9 years old, lay on the floor next to the body of her brother, Demario, age 2. They also have been stabbed numerous times, but in addition to the puncture wounds, they were both partially dismembered. The oldest daughter, Kylia, had 63 slash and stab wounds and died of massive hemorrhaging. Baby Demario's right leg had been hacked off at the hip, and his right hand had been cut off at the wrist. His eyes had been completely removed. The severed parts sat on the table next to an open anatomy book that was smeared with blood. A bowl of blood was also found on the kitchen table along with a plastic container containing Demario's eyes. Not surprisingly, Gail Trait was brought into custody for questioning. Right away, she started mumbling about voodoo and black magic. Gail further elaborated to investigators she believed that she was under a voodoo curse. The detectives were skeptical. They put the interview on hold and placed Gail into a holding cell for her to clear her head. A half an hour or so later, she came out and gave law enforcement her official statement. A calm and cool Gail explained that she had done it to save their souls. That they were not her children, at least not until she killed them. After stabbing them, she demanded that they confessed that they were her children. As they laid there dying, all she wanted them to say was that she was their mother. She denied being angry with the children and stated multiple times that she loved them. She admitted her belief in voodoo and black magic, but claimed that the bowl of blood on the kitchen table had nothing to do with that. She insists that the murders were done to save their souls. Gail Trait's defense attorney entered an insanity plea for his client. He also filed a wrongful death suit against the county on behalf of Gail Trait, on the basis that her children should never have been returned to her. When the murder trial finally began in late November 1979, her defense readily admitted to the jury that Gail Trait had killed her children. While awaiting sentencing at the Erie County Holding Center, she tried to set herself on fire by holding a lit match to her gown. Luckily, or unluckily, depending on your perspective, a guard nearby saw her and doused her with a fire extinguisher, resulting in her only having minor burns. At her sentencing hearing, she was convicted on 4 counts of second-degree murder. She was given a prison term of 25 years to life. Gail Trait reportedly showed no emotion when this verdict was read to her. Trait's convictions were reversed after Gail had been in prison for 10 years on the ground of incompetency of counsel. Ironically, the insanity defense worked this time around in a juryless trial. After years of imprisonment and psychotropic drugs, she was so doped up that she was completely out of it. Gail Trait was found not responsible for the crimes by reason of insanity and spent 2 years in a mental hospital. Her current whereabouts are unknown. Well, there you have it, folks. Another strange tale of when Western New York wants to get evil with its bad self. I hope you enjoyed. And remember what I always say, like and subscribe my videos.